How you doing, mate? You all right?
Oh, good game again. I do like the international break, so it was nice to watch. I think it was an interesting game seeing Foden be played as like false nine. I don't know if I guess because we're gonna have that position, we've got the likes of Foden, Palmer, and Bellingham kind of all going for that 10 role. So I don't know if Thomas Tuchel maybe is thinking bring off Kane later on in the game and do that sort of kind of position. I mean, it looks okay, but look, Phil Foden got the ball out to Eze that did a beautiful goal, so can't complain. It was a very easy performance.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what I like about it? Listen, like for like swaps, I think are really important in football.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking about during the game is, well, wouldn't it be nice to, because you would imagine Ollie Watkins will be in the squad. There might be another number 9. There might be a couple of number 9s that come, 3 number 9s. But wouldn't it be good to, between now and then, work on an option where you think, oh, out and out number 9 isn't working today. What if we go false 9? What if we can play in a different way to give the opponents a different problem? Because, the reason why I think that is one of the biggest issues that people have with Ruben Amorim is that every change is just like for like. The shape don't change, the roles don't change. He just moves different personnel into the positions. So I was thinking, well, if that's criticized, then it surely can't be criticized that you have a change, you have a plan B, if you like, which isn't just stick Harry Maguire up front or Dan Burn, whoever it may be. But what did you make of some of the individuals tonight? Who stood out for you in the England team?
To be fair, for me, Nico Riley and Reece James, I think, had a very, very good performance. I think Nico Riley looked very much at home. Bear in mind being that his debut, obviously, I think he didn't really put a foot wrong. He could have got a goal as well when he went up forward at one of the attacks. And Reece James, I've always said this, when he's fit, he is one of the best right backs in the world. I just hope he stays consistent like that. And obviously Chelsea will be able to push on with him, but he needs to keep that form up. And obviously Elliot Anderson, I can't say much more praise to him because he just solves every single thing about that England, I guess, has kind of had before. That we've always had that problem with that position where we've had the likes of what it was before. It was like Jordan Henderson or like Conor Gallagher and then Adam Wharton. Like no one kind of really settled in fully in that place. Whereas I think Elliot Anderson's just that perfect pivot to have with the likes of with Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham. When he came on, but he nearly had 40 touches in like 25 minutes. Like you could see he was so hungry.
I don't get the disrespect people put towards Jude Bellingham. I think fair enough. I think some of it, honestly, is a lot of people do you wear the same number at Real Madrid as Zidane, and so they do those comparisons. And I think some people take it personally as if to go, but he doesn't play like Zidane. He hasn't got a touch like Zidane. He's not like he's not a poetry player like Zidane. Therefore, you can't compare him. And I sometimes sit there and think, first, like the toaster alarm goes off, like toaster person, woo, woo, woo. Nobody's saying he plays like him. They're talking about his impact in the Real Madrid team in terms of he came in and he, in a different way, was so influential in winning matches. I didn't think it needed to be explained, but it obviously does with a lot of people. But I love what he did when he came on. But I liked what all the subs did when they came on today, because we went a little bit stale in the game. And it's why I praise Tuchel so much. They all came on and went, no disrespect, Rodgers. No disrespect, Rashford. No disrespect, Kane. We're fighting for your positions, and that is what we need. We need players fighting. The amount of times I've watched England games, the subs come on in what was almost a dead rubber because we'd already qualified and just go through the motions for 20 minutes, and you think, what do you mean you're going through the motions for 20 minutes? You should be out there busting the gut to force your way into the first team. So I was really impressed with that element, and it's going to be interesting to see what right now. What's your gut saying about the World Cup in terms of who do you think starts the tournament as the main man behind Harry Kane? Do you think it'll be Rodgers? Do you think Palmer will be back in the team, or do you think it'll be Jude Bellingham?
I think personally, if Palmer is fit, it'll be between Palmer and Bellingham. I think it's all about, because the thing that I am very happy and appreciative about Tuchel is he is looking at current performance and how people are. So I think it'll all just depend on how either one of them two are kicking off at the time. And my gut feeling says it'll probably be Bellingham, but I think it'll all depend on how they are going match to match, where it could be either one starts. And look, as an English fan, to have the competition of Jude Bellingham or Cole Palmer to be fighting over that position, it's just unbelievable. And look, I think it's right now. International football is getting to a point where amazing managers are getting into it. Like obviously you got the likes of Ancelotti going over to Brazil, so it's looking good, and it's actually going to be a very good tournament, I think. And we do have the ability to kick on and go towards the final. I won't say we're going to win it again because I've had my hopes up too many times under Southgate, but yeah, no, it'll be good to see. Like obviously, the only other good international coach that we could technically say we had was Fabio Capello, but he didn't really do massive amounts compared to what it looks like Tuchel and Southgate's obviously accomplished. So let's just see how it goes. But it's looking good. And also, there is one thing I wanted to say. There is an absolute madness that's going on still. Erling Haaland got another 2 goals again tonight.
I haven't even looked at that game and that result, to be honest with you. I didn't even look, but look,
he's just something else, man.
Yeah, he is something else as well. I mean, crazy results. In France had a good result tonight. I think Mbappe scored like his 400th career goal tonight.
Yep. 2 goals. Ekitike got a goal.
Yeah, there we go. I mean,
Osman got 2 goals as well.
It's going to be a brilliant tournament. There's no doubt about it. I'm excited about it. I'd like the Irish to get there because it'd be good for me and my son, as he's half Irish, to kind of enjoy that together. But I also feel what you just said there about who's going to start. I think because there is no United players in this squad, I also enjoy it more because I'm just talking about this as an England fan.
Yeah.
No one really calls me out for anything because they're like, oh, you just want Manu to start. But during the Euros, where I thought Manu should be starting in the early rounds, you only wanted to start because he's an Man United player. So no, I think we'll become a better team with him in. And we did.
Yeah.
And it's easier when you're talking about players that don't play for your club because people tend to have they listen to you a little bit more. But I'm in the same mindset as you. I think in the group stages, I also think Tuchel was going to do something that you do at club level. I think there'll be rotation. I think he'll be the first manager to go. We have a lot of coaches for England in my lifetime that you'll go through the group stages, and unless you've qualified by the 3rd game, it's the same players. Where when you look at a lot of the other top nations, there was always, it felt like 3 to 4 players rotated in each of those games around. So by the time you got to the knockout stages, there was still an element of freshness. Where with England, it was always you'd get to your first knockout game, and some of your players are about to play their full 90 minutes in the space of 2 weeks, and you're sitting there and you're thinking, and sometimes in blisteringly hot countries. And that's, I mean, America, and that part of the world is going to be so warm in the summer. So I think it's great to have this. And it's why if Tuchel gets this internal fighting, as in fighting for positions, right, picks the best team and not the best players, but keeps the players hungry. And that's why I love the way they played when they came on from the bench. You could see that I want to be in the team. Having a squad where you can go, right, who's starting? Bellingham, Palmer. If you go for your 3rd choice, it's still Morgan Rogers. The depth in those areas for England, for me, is the best I've seen in my lifetime. We've had brilliant players, but I don't remember. I just don't remember it feeling this strong. So many top-class players. Plus, I don't think there's many other nations around the world where you look at their team and their squad and go, well, they're definitely better than us. I look at France. I'm looking at Spain. Germany are always dangerous. But then outside of that, I am looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, Argentina without Messi, I don't know. Or is Messi going to this World Cup or is he retired now?
I don't think he is, as far as I'm aware.
Portugal. But I just feel like we're up there with all of them. I feel we're up there, and I never used to. I'd never feel like that. If I go between sort of the late 90s and the mid 2010s, I never really felt like going into these tournaments. I just look at all the other squads and go, bloody hell, look at Italy, look at Spain. I thought they were light years ahead of us, especially on a technical level. So, yeah, it's going to be, what does someone say about Messi? Is he retired?
So apparently he is going to the World Cup.
Oh, he's going to go to the World Cup. Fair enough. But
I mean, God. Yeah, but like I said, like even the likes of, I can't write Brazil off with having Ancelotti as their manager. Like,
true.
It's going to be great. Like I said, I was slightly worried when Saka, after he scored the goal, when he did like the rotation thing, I thought he might have had an injury. I was slightly worried about that because I obviously say even for an English point of view, you don't want him coming off, and he looked very good. But yeah,
I agree. I agree. I think the thing with Brazil, when you mentioned Brazil. the issue is when I think about the England team, and I know we had the golden generation. So like I look at that England, but I look at that England team and I look at our current squad, and there is such a strong debate for a lot of our current players to be in those England squads. A lot of strong debate. Like a lot of people would go, I'd put Reece James in over Gary Neville, and I love Gary Neville, but I get why people would do that. When you listen, I know, Ashley Cole would probably get in the team still. The centre backs probably would, but with the way modern day football's played, we're picking Pickford. Then you start getting Harry Kane starting that game as an example.
Yeah.
Again, I look at it and I just think to myself, there's a massive argument for Saka. But even then, I look at this England team has got to semi-finals and finals. Those England teams got nowhere near it. There's a big argument. When I look at, for instance, Brazil, how many of the current Brazil squad do you put anywhere near their squads in the 90s and the 2000s?
Yeah, nowhere near.
So this is what I mean. I think Brazil still got brilliant players and squads. I just think whether it's them getting worse and us getting better or a combination. The reason why I have a more sense of confidence is I just feel we're so much closer to these nations now. Where I remember, you should watch those squads come out of Brazil's, France, Argentina, and go, how the hell are we going to compete against these guys? Especially then when we were putting square pegs in round holes, not picking the best team but best players. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. To be honest, I'm really, really excited. Excited.
It is really good. Like at the end of the day, we've got very healthy competition, and like I've always said this, and I will always say this: how international should be treated is like a club level, which is what Tuchel is doing. So there's not one bad thing I can say. I'm enjoying watching it. Like it doesn't get to that dross point in a game where normally we would have with England, where we're like 45 minutes into the game and we've scored one goal or something, and we just park the bus, and it's just sad. It's like we're making substitutions and we're still pushing. We're doing good passing. We're having high possession. It's good. Look, I would like to say this is looking very good for the World Cup and the Euros to follow that. But obviously, Tuchel I think is only in for the World Cup, which is I quite like because it's making him be hungry for this, and then he can earn himself an extra contract if that's what it comes to. Because I couldn't care if they're English or not.
The thing is, I think there's part of me that thinks part of me thinks what he's going to do is do well for England and then get another big job in Europe and go back to club football. That being said, England and the FA pay a lot of bloody money for essentially what is a part-time job. So
bro gets paid to sit in flipping stadiums and watch people play.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. And I think, you know what, if he does well and the FA there's an offer, make him an offer that he can't refuse and keep him. That's my biggest fear in all of this. I fear that we will do well with him, be buzzing, and then the FA will fuck it up by not keeping him. That's my fear. Do you know what I mean? That's what I worry about. But yeah, look, overall. Can't be complaining too much. It's been it's been a decent start to the international break.
Yeah, the only thing that I was like when it came on, I was like, bloody Henderson again. Every time, like this man can never not seem to get in England squads at some point. I don't understand how it happens. To be fair, he's not been playing too bad, so I can't really criticize him. But I just don't understand how he's always in it. I know he's a great figure.
I didn't like it. That was one of the things I initially criticised under Tuchel, even though I was a very big advocate of him coming in and being our manager. That being said, Henderson's actually looked very good in the Premier League this year as well. So I think there is a little bit there. I call it the Saudi bias. Sometimes people go and play in Saudi, and then I think your brain just goes into this kind of view of, well, they must be finished. They must be well over the hill. That's why they've gone there. And he went there, then he went to the Eredivisie, which I know none of us put onto the same level. None of us consider it the sort of same level as the Premier League. And it's sort of like he's gone there and done his thing. But then he looks very good. Like he came on and he looked okay. And I suppose what Tuchel's probably looking at the squad and thinking is, I need a little bit more. I need some more experience. Essentially, that must be his train of thought, which is I need more experience. That has to that's the only thing that kind of makes sense to me is I need that experience. I need somebody with a bit of know-how. I need another leader because he put the armband on as soon as Harry Kane went off. Straight away he had that on. So maybe that's obviously a real important component for him as well. In terms of Elliot Anderson, how much pain do you feel watching him, knowing that he should be a Newcastle player right now?
Mate, when he went, I think every single Newcastle fan was so sad when he had to leave us, because obviously we had to get rid of him for PSR reasons. It was the same with Jacob Minter. Like Minter went for 35 million and Anderson went for 40 million, and now what he's quoted like he's worth over 100 million. But this was exactly how he was playing for us, to be honest. But it was just something we kind of had to bite our teeth with and stuff, because obviously we had the likes of Bruno and Tonali, so we it wasn't exactly like we needed him in the squad. But I would love more than anything for it to still have him, because he's just the tenacity he has. He just doesn't stop running.
What I don't get is why you guys actually sold good players, but all the other clubs that did it, like the £20 million deal that Villa did with Chelsea for that, whatever you know, something Kellyman, that was just that. We all played Football Manager type games when we were younger, and when we were struggling, we would. I'm taking over another. You take over another team, put your brother's name in, take over another team, and then you'd buy a shit player from your reserves with the money of that team for too much money, right? We all did that, and I know we did because 3 or 4 of my friends taught me it, and I was like, "Oh, you guys actually do it." And when you're a kid, you cheat on computer games if you can, because that's what children do. That's what I felt like those deals were. It was right. We need 20 million. We'll sell us one of your shitters. You lot actually sold 2 very good players. You actually got rid of 2 really good players, which is crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, it's what PSR does, I guess, isn't it? But it's how we go about it. And at the end of the day, we're coming off better. It's one of those things that every club, sometimes you'll end up having to get rid of one of your great players. Like, say if you guys have to get rid of Kobe Mainu, like I think everyone can see how good he actually is. So he might end up becoming good and be sort of a similar position as what Elliot Anderson is. Like, obviously, when he was with us, we didn't have him doing exactly what he's been doing for England and Forest, because, like I said, we've had Bruno and Tonali in that sort of area. So, yeah. But, I mean, we always saw the quality that he had. And I'm pretty sure he was part Scottish and ended up choosing England over playing for them. So, yeah, it's you got to respect it. He's got a lot of hunger for English football.
No, I hear that. We have a few more super chats here that have come through. You beautiful, generous people. It says Ireland beat Portugal 2-0. Ronaldo red card. Huge night for the Irish football. Come on, you boys in green. Yeah, I had both games on at the same time. I always tune in. I watch a lot of Portugal games anyway because of Ronaldo and Bruno, although Bruno wasn't playing tonight. But the Irish were fantastic, even up into the red card in the second half. Fantastic. Massive value for their lead, and it's giving themselves great hope. And as you say, brilliant night. And for anyone that doesn't understand, it might just be that your competence on international football. When the Irish or the Northern Irish or the Scottish or the Welsh beat a team the size of Portugal, it is gargantuan. Just much smaller nations, far less money being put into the sport and stars. And fantastic night. And this also here says, "Come on, you boys in green, thrash Portugal," and you did. You did thrash them. You were so much better than they were tonight. Look, I want to thank everyone who's tuned in.